Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. There comes a moment in every person's life when they stand at a crossroads. The path you choose may lead you into the unknown. You may not have anyone by your side, no cheerleaders, no one to give you directions, but here's the thing, you don't need them. You don't need to be surrounded to be empowered. Sometimes the most powerful person in the room is the one who's walking alone. You see, too many people are afraid to walk alone. They think that if they aren't surrounded by a crowd, they're not going in the right direction. But let me tell you, the lone wolf doesn't follow the pack. The lone wolf moves with purpose. The lone wolf knows that the silence of walking alone is where they hear their own heartbeat, their own dreams echo louder than the noise of the world. Independence is not just a virtue, it's a necessity if you want to rise above the noise and truly make a mark in this world. There will be times when you have no choice but to rely on yourself, when no one will be there to offer guidance or support. It is in these moments of solitude that you discover the depths of your inner strength. True strength isn't found in numbers, it's found in the quiet confidence of knowing you can stand tall on your own. Walking your path alone sharpens your focus. When you're not constantly seeking approval or validation from others, you begin to trust your own instincts. You become more in tune with who you are and what you're capable of. That self-reliance becomes your superpower. The distractions of the crowd fade, and what remains is a laser focus on your mission, your goals, and your values. Independence teaches you resilience. You learn to solve problems without waiting for someone else to step in. You build mental toughness, knowing that no one is going to fight your battles for you. And once you've cultivated that inner strength, nothing, no obstacle, no setback can break you. When you walk alone, you're not weak. You are in command of your journey. You're the master of your fate, the captain of your soul, and that is where true power lies within yourself. Solitude is often misunderstood. People confuse it with loneliness, but they are not the same. Loneliness is a feeling of emptiness, of craving connection, but solitude, that's where you find yourself. In solitude, you discover your own voice, your own rhythm, free from the distractions of the world. It's where the greatest ideas are born, the biggest breakthroughs happen, and where clarity takes root. When you embrace solitude, you give yourself the space to think deeply. You don't have the noise of others' opinions drowning out your thoughts. In those quiet moments, you start to see things differently. You see the world through your own eyes and not through the lens of anyone else. In solitude, you find your true self. Solitude also gives you strength. It forces you to rely on yourself, to trust your instincts, and to believe in your ability to handle whatever life throws your way. That kind of confidence can only be built when you stand alone, facing challenges head-on without a safety net. And here's the truth, some of the most transformative moments in life happen when you're alone. When you walk through the fire by yourself, you come out the other side stronger, wiser, and more certain of who you are. Solitude isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace, because in those moments of quiet, you are free to grow, to evolve, and to become the person you were meant to be. Self-reliance is one of the most powerful traits you can develop. When you learn to depend on yourself, you no longer need to wait for someone else to solve your problems or guide your path. You become your own source of strength. That's when you realize that no obstacle is too big, no setback is too overwhelming, because you've trained yourself to handle whatever comes your way. The truth is, relying on others can limit you. If you constantly seek help or validation from the outside, you risk being let down or even misled. But when you trust yourself, you take control. You understand that everything you need to succeed is already within you. Self-reliance isn't about shutting people out, it's about knowing that at the end of the day, you're capable of navigating life's challenges on your own. Developing self-reliance also builds resilience. When you face difficulties alone, you learn to bounce back faster. You don't waste time waiting for someone to rescue you, you figure it out. Each problem you solve strengthens your confidence, your creativity, and your ability to overcome. And the beauty of self-reliance is this: when you know you can stand on your own, you start to realize your full potential. You become more daring, more willing to take risks, because you know that no matter what happens, you have the inner strength to rise again. That's the true power of self-reliance that makes you unstoppable. Walking alone in this world is often seen as a sign of weakness, but in reality, it's one of the strongest positions you can take. Society glorifies teamwork and collaboration, and while those things are valuable, there are moments when walking your own path separate from the crowd is what will set you apart. Facing the world alone doesn't mean you're isolated or unsupported. It means you're willing to forge ahead, even when no one else sees the vision you're chasing. When you walk alone, you learn to trust yourself in ways that aren't possible when you're surrounded by others. You don't have the safety net of groupthink or the comfort of the familiar. You're forced to navigate uncharted territory, make decisions that others might shy away from, and confront the unknown head-on. This builds courage. It strengthens your resolve. Choosing to face the world on your own terms is a powerful act of defiance. It's a statement that you won't be swayed by trends, opinions, or expectations. You're willing to take risks, knowing that the reward for staying true to your path is far greater than the approval of the crowd. Walking alone doesn't make you vulnerable. It makes you focused, determined, and aligned with your purpose. Afraid to stand alone. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a demonstration of your strength, your independence, and your readiness to carve out a life that's authentically yours. When you choose to walk alone, fear and doubt are inevitable. It's natural to question whether you're on the right path, especially when no one else is beside you. But here's the thing, those moments of fear and doubt are where growth happens. When you face them head on, you build a resilience that few ever achieve. The fear of walking alone is not a sign that you're weak. It's a sign that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, and that's exactly where you need to be to grow. Doubt has a way of creeping in when you're out there on your own. You may wonder if you're making the right decisions or if your vision is clear. But this is also where self-discovery happens. When you push through that doubt and keep moving forward, you start to trust yourself more deeply. You realize that uncertainty is part of the process, and instead of letting it paralyze you, you learn to embrace it. Facing fear and doubt alone sharpens your inner strength. Every time you push through those challenging moments, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. That's where real confidence is built, not in the absence of fear, but in the decision to keep going in spite of it. Overcoming fear and doubt when you walk alone transforms you. It molds you into someone who can face anything, someone who doesn't need validation from others to know they're on the right path. Greatness is rarely achieved by following the crowd. In fact, those who stand out in history are the ones who dared to walk their own path, even when it went against the norm. Defying the expectations of others, stepping outside of the boundaries set by society, that's where true innovation and transformation happen. When you choose to break away from the pack, you're saying that you're willing to risk comfort and familiarity in exchange for a chance at something greater. It's easy to get caught up in what everyone else is doing, to follow trends and go with the flow. But greatness requires more than that. It requires vision, boldness, and the courage to go where no one else is willing to go. When you defy the norm, you open yourself up to new possibilities. You see opportunities that others miss, and you create a path that's uniquely yours. Walking alone and defying expectations isn't easy. You'll face resistance. People might question your decisions, doubt your choices, or even try to pull you back into the safety of the known. But that's the price of greatness. To achieve something extraordinary, you have to be willing to do what others won't. Defying the norm means you're not afraid to stand out, to be different, to pursue your dreams even when it doesn't fit the mold. And that's where greatness is found, in the willingness to walk a path that no one else can see but you.